All right, everybody. Good morning and welcome once again to Up and Moving. My name is Isaac, yours truly, and I'm a grad student here in the KIPP department at Michigan Tech. The goal of Up and Moving, we want to provide a physical activity resource for our community as well as our campus. So we have our live workouts every Thursday and Saturday. We archive them on YouTube, Facebook Live. Got some DVDs if you're ever interested, but yeah, so our goal here, want to keep providing you a free physical activity resource, and I hope you continue to enjoy these workouts. What we're going to have on tap for today is a high intensity interval training workout that will last approximately, of course, along with the warm up and our cool down, 20 minutes of hard exercise with a little break in between. But the type that we'll be doing today is, we've seen it before on Up and Moving. It's called every minute on the minute training, or the acronym's EMOM, some people call it. But what it is we're going to do 2 different circuits that last for 10 minutes. We have 3 exercises for each circuit, and you have 1 minute to complete them. I'm just going to wait a moment. We got a couple more people hopping on Zoom, so I'm going to start this talk again real quick in a moment. Hey, good morning. If you're just joining, hey, good morning, Nancy. You didn't miss much. I was just gonna say, I was just talking about the workout, what we have on tap for today. It's gonna be a high intensity interval training workout. I'll just get right into starting with what equipment we need, and I can explain it more in the future. All we need this morning is some sort of light resistance. We're only gonna need it for 2 exercises. So whether that's a soup can, laundry detergent, anything that you can hold on to. If you have light dumbbells, that's great as well. Just to help you out when you're picking your resistance, we're going to be doing like a lateral raise when you move your arms to your sides. So that's going to be a pretty tough exercise, and then a dumbbell or a weighted row. So nothing too heavy, nothing too light. Just have some choices close by for you. But if we're ready, we'll give you a few seconds just to get your equipment, and I'm going to get a timer going here really quick. Okay, there it is. All right. Make sure we have some water, wide open space, and if you're ready, you can come join me in the middle here. Just going to start off with a nice stretch towards the ceiling. This is always my favorite one for the first stretch of the day in our warm-up. Just reaching up towards the sky, and you can have a little bit of a extension in your lower back. So hold this for a few more seconds, and then we'll come down towards the ground, just swaying from side to side here. You can come forward and grab one leg, whether you can touch the floor or foot, however flexible you are. This is a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. So just hang out on one side. So my left leg, my left hamstring, the back is feeling more of a stretch here. This one's sort of just along for the ride. Then we'll move over to our other side. Three, two, one. Then we'll come back up to the top once again. We're gonna go through this again. So it's a nice stretch here, whether you just woke up half an hour ago or if you've been awake for 3 or 4 hours, still good regardless. Okay, we'll go back down once again. So once again, just sway from side to side a little bit, nice and loose. Sort of feeling an equal stretch between my hamstrings here. Then I'm going to go to one side. Now we'll go to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're gonna go from side to side here in the standing position. So like I call these like teapots. Put one hand on our hip. We're gonna be basically side crunching from one side here. So my hand that's overhead, that's the one that's gonna be lengthened as my other side is crunching to the side. I realize that I'm saying the word side about 4 times in each sentence here, but it's the best way I can explain it this morning. So we'll go about 3 more times each side. Okay, now we're just gonna do a few rotations with our feet planted, or sort of if you've ever golfed before, you can imagine you're swinging a club or taking a hockey slap shot here. So when I rotate to my right side, my left foot can sort of come up and twist, allowing me to get a little more rotation. Whenever I teach junior golfers, we call this squishing the bug. So when I go to swing, I'm squishing the bug with my bottom or my back foot, excuse me. So if you ever need golf lessons at Portage Lake and you're under the age of like 12, I'll probably say the same thing to you. Okay, enough of golfing. The snow's melting soon, so we will be doing that sooner than you think. But we'll be moving into just a nice little march here. Opposite knee to opposite hand. We're gonna be doing a lot of movement today that requires our hips. So if we're ready for that, we gotta warm up this specific movement pattern. So this is hip flexion. Okay, now we'll move into a stretch with our quads. So we've all seen this one before. It's an oldie, but a goodie. Just reaching oppositely to the sky, stretching the opposite quadricep. Watch my balance. All right, we'll go 2 more each leg. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we'll get into some hamstring scoops. So we're getting a little more dynamic here. Okay, doing some over-unders now. So going underneath that hurdle, we're gonna really work on our hip mobility here. Sort of come down, we're going below the tightrope. Then we can step over it. So each time we'll go under each way. And we'll go over it. This is one of my favorite ones, favorite warm-up exercises for anything. When it's time to exercise my lower body. I feel like it's really good for movement in all planes here. Because we're doing some flexion, so in the front to back, like the north-south pattern. And then we're also rotating, so we're sort of going east-west as well. Okay, now we're gonna finish it off here with some jumping jacks. We're getting our heart rate up a little more here. So you can do the real deals if you are able to jump, or just stepping to the side. Then we'll move into some butt kicks. So kicking behind us here, my thighs are not moving too much. A high knee, we're going really in front of us, but just sort of kicking behind myself here. Three, two, one. Okay. So now that our warm-up's completed, grab a drink of water. I gotta log into this other computer really quick because I have a special timer for us. There we go. Okay, so as I was explaining really quickly at the start of the workout, but then we got some new joiners, so I'll state it again really quickly. We've seen this type before. It's a high intensity interval training type of exercise. It's called every minute on the minute. So how we're going to do this is that I got a lot of screens going here. I have my laptop, which you can see me on. My phone's below with an overall timer just to see, so I don't take you until noon. And then I got another computer here with the YouTube clock that is going to beep every minute. And so what happens here is that we have 3 exercises that we're going to do. You have 60 seconds to complete them. However, the faster you get it done, the more time you have to rest. So we're going to go through this 10 times. So it's the first few times around, it's not going to be too difficult for you, but the more you do it, we're doing it 10 times in a row. So it's going to get progressively harder. And as we get more difficult, we're going to have less time to rest. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think we're up for the challenge. If we're on the, if we woke up today and we're ready to exercise, we got to challenge ourselves if we want to feel it, right? So the exercises are going to be relatively simple. We've all seen them before. They're not rocket science or anything, but when we get to do them consecutively 10 times in a row, they're going to get darn hard, right? So the first one, and I'm going to prescribe prescription as I'm making myself sound like I'm a physician, but I'm going to provide you with a ballpark range of repetitions, and I'd like you to sort of get a feel for it, how it is in the first few reps. It sounds confusing, but everyone's different, right? We all have differing abilities. So the first 3 exercises we're going to do, the first one's just a body weight squat. So we're going to have a nice quadricep and glute workout here. So just whether you have a chair around you or not, sometimes I like just having one behind me just to make it known that I'm doing my workout correctly. But if I'm standing in front of the chair, I'm going to be squatting and I want to sit my butt back when I squat. So as if there was a chair behind me, I'm going to be sitting in it, because sometimes when we're too far on our toes, we're going to lose our balance. Hey, come forward. Ooh, excuse me, I had a pop up here. There we go. We're back. So yeah, even just having a chair behind you, or if you do it with the couch behind you, that just reminds us to stay equally balanced. And then we get more of a glute workout as well. So we're going to do, I'd aim for about somewhere between 5 to 7 reps for this, because we all have to do this in a minute. Then the next one, we're going to go ahead and do some lateral raises with our soup cans or whatnot. So we'll have some sort of resistance, and we're going to make a T. We're going to go for about 7 reps as well. That seems like my lucky number for 60 seconds. Go for about 7 or so. Try not to, don't turn it into a Y. That creates, we're using different muscles here. So just create a T. Stop here at our shoulders. And then the last one, I should have included them in our warm-up because we're doing them again, but we're going to go for 10 jumping jacks. Okay, so we got a little bit of aerobic work in here, whether that's a step to the side or a regular leaping one. You can also, if you want to do more squats, You can do a partial with our hands going over our head. So to recap, we have squats for about 7 reps or so. You can be the gauge of this as you get going. I'm just going to provide you with a ballpark. You'll see how long it takes you for everything. Lateral raises, try to have about the same repetitions, and then we'll go for 10 jumping jacks. Okay, so I'm expecting my first time around might have about 20-25 seconds worth of break. So we'll plan accordingly for that. And if we're ready, this clock's going to count down from 10, which I'm starting now, and you'll hear a noise. 5, 4, 3. Okay, so we got 7 squats or so. Remember, squats, lateral raises, jumping jacks. I'll keep you updated on the clock. And you can do them in any order that you'd like. For instance, if you want to get the jumping jacks out of the way first, that's fine. Okay, so there's about 15 seconds on the clock here, everyone. So take a break, relax, because we got to go through it 9 more times. Okay, there's the next one. So we're on set number 2. And if you're finding that even right now, and we have 15 seconds left, if you're getting really close to being finished and you only have 3, 4, 5 seconds left, then of course, bring your reps down. If you have way too much time, crank them up. I'll give you the freedom to really choose whatever you want here. Here's number 3. All right, 15 seconds once again. So yeah, when I do, I guess 34 reps, so 7, 7, and 10. That seems like a good time for me at least, but everyone's different. Okay, number 4, we're almost halfway done. So good job, everyone, so far. And remember, we don't have to go all the way past 90 for a full rep. Even if you want to do a partial squat, those all count here, right? "15 seconds. And I can always gauge my fatigue based on how easily I'm able to talk on camera. We got 5 seconds left. Okay, this is number 5. So we're at the halfway point, everyone. Good job. Or once we're done this, at least. So yeah, once again, I gave you the workout in the order of squats, lateral raises, and jumping jacks. If you want to do the lateral raises last because it requires equipment, that's perfectly fine too. "15 seconds left." Okay, number 6. We don't have too much time to rest. "15 seconds left." I feel like I'm a recording robot because I say the same thing every minute, but just providing you with an update on the timer. All right, number 7, here we go. We're getting there. It's cool to think about it too, because I like this style of workout because once you're done, like we have only 7 squats at a time. But once you do this 10 times, that's 70 squats, 70 lateral raises, 100 jumping jacks. That's a lot of volume. And that's only our first circuit, right? So we got a second one of completely different exercises that we can do. So it's a great way to get a lot of work in. Whew. 10 seconds till the next start. And we got 3 more of these. We can do it. All right, number 8, let's get it. "15 seconds." Okay, we got 2 more. Stay strong here. I remember the first time I was introduced to these was during high school hockey, dry lane training, and it made me a better athlete, but it was, I think, some of the hardest workouts I ever had to do. We had to do 15 squats, 10 push-ups, and 5 pull-ups every minute, I think. And oh gosh. "15 seconds. I got caught talking. I'm gonna run out of time here almost. Okay, a couple more seconds. All right, our last one. This is our 10th one. Then we get a few minutes break. So finish up strong here. Try to get as many in as you can. 15 seconds left. Good job, everyone. Finish strong here. All right. So give yourselves a pat on the back. We made it through that one. Awesome job. So, oh, excuse me. Okay. So that was 10 minutes. We got a lot of volume in during those 10 minutes. So we can take a nice break now for a minute or two. I know we're able to have, there's mini breaks in between, but now you can really grab a seat if you have to, if you really need to catch your breath and chill for a second, have some water, pet your dog, your cat, goldfish, whatever you need. And as you're resting, I'll talk about, for the sake of time, our second circuit, which we'll go for 8 minutes this time. So we're getting a little fatigued. We're gonna go through it 8 times now, and gonna be similar exercises here. However, now we're gonna incorporate a little bit of our core. So that was legs and shoulders, really. This one's gonna be our back, as well as our core, and a little bit of knee, hip flexion as well. So our first exercise, this is when I hope you have your resistance around you. Ideally, might be if it's a little bit heavier would be better, but this is completely up to you. We're gonna do a row, so a bent over row. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy textbooks here. We're gonna move up from the water bottles to the textbooks. And it's just gonna be a regular bent over row. I think 7 was a magic number for me. You might be able to have a better gauge of how many reps worked for you based on how much time you had to rest every time. So we're gonna, once again, when I like to think about these, we're standing with the weights at our pockets, bend over at the hips, let them hang in front of you, whether it's your dumbbells or anything, and try to pull and squeeze our shoulder blades and our back muscles together here. So act like you have a pencil between your shoulder blades. You got to hold it when you come up here, really squeeze, and try to bring your elbows towards your hips. If we come up this way towards our ears, it's going to be working our trap muscles instead. That's great, but that's for another exercise. So we really want to work our rhomboids, so the muscles between our shoulder blades, our lats, so our angel wings, as they're called. So really try to focus on pulling towards your hips for that. So then once we put our books or our weights away, we're going to do a ladder climb. So maybe 7 to 10 reps, something like that. That's just opposite knee, opposite hand. We're getting a little more aerobic work here and it's some core. So 7 to 10, something like that. And then while we're still standing, it's going to be a very similar movement pattern. However, instead of reaching above us, we're going to be contracting our core and doing a standing crunch. So I got my hands, my hands at my head, and be crunching and pulling my knee towards my elbow, really shortening that with my core. So if we're ready for that, I'll recap once again. We have our dumbbell row pulling towards our elbows towards our hips. So we want to bring those towards our pockets. Then we're going to do a ladder climber and then right into a standing crunch. So once again, 7 reps for each one works pretty well for me, but we're all different, right? So maybe even try to, if you had a money range for your last circuit, try that out for this time around, and we'll see how that goes. So we've got a 10-second timer to count us down here, and you'll hear a beep when it's time to start. All right, we got 60 seconds. We got 8 times to go. For the dumbbell rows, if you're thinking about some other equipment you could use, I don't have my clothes hamper with me here because I'm not at my house, but your dirty clothes hamper with your your dirty clothes with the handles on it. That's always a nice thing to pull as well. All right, 15 seconds left, everyone. Enjoy your break if you made it there. All right, number 2 of 8. $22 seconds left for judgment here. All right. Five seconds, everyone. All right, number 3. So we're 25% done. Good job. So yeah, once again, I know everyone's different. I found that my rep range for my last circuit, I need to add a few more reps on this one based on just some exercises just are faster to complete. We got 10 seconds left. I cranked it up a notch a little bit. All right, here we go. Number 4. That's the great thing about I love exercise and the fact that we are our own regulators of how, like, we know how hard we're working. Like, I can give you ideas while on camera here, but you are your best. Like, nobody knows you better than you, right? So you get to be the one who tells you whether you need to work harder, work easier, stay the same. $15 seconds. All right. Whew. All right, number 5. We're on the the second half here, the stretch run. $15 seconds, everyone. All right, number 6. Here we go. We got 3 more left. Let's finish strong. 10 seconds, everyone. 3, 2, 1. All right, number 7. Got 2 more. We're 75% done. Back workouts like this are especially important because if you notice, once you finish your rep, when you're squeezing, our shoulders are back. That's the posture that we want to keep throughout the day. Instead of slouching, right? We want to have that nice, proud posture. Got 10 more seconds, everyone. All right, last but not least, let's finish strong. Get as many reps in as you can. $25 seconds left. Five seconds. All right. We made it. Good job, everyone. Pat on the back, each side, excuse me. So I'll give you a few seconds just to really catch your breath. You can grab a seat if you like. Take a sip of water, really chill. Take a few deep breaths. So we made it through the tough part of the workout. Now we can just focus on cooling down. So really focus on taking some big deep breaths. And whenever you're ready to join me, we're just going to go into a nice loose rotation here. My heart actually got pretty elevated during that. So not saying I never work hard on here and up and moving. I do, but this one, I kicked my own butt a little harder than I expected today. Then we can go ahead and reach up towards the sky again. If you have a doorway around you, I'd encourage you to go find it. We can do a nice doorway stretch. We're going to really work the front of our chest muscles and the front of our shoulders, especially after doing a lot of lateral raises. So the way we work here, get my chair out of the way. I'll grab on to the door. I'm facing the camera right now, but now to make it harder, I need to stretch the muscle. So instead of facing you here, I'm going to face this way, get a nice stretch out of it. Hold this for about 10 seconds or so. Three, two, one. All right, now we'll switch sides. I got to turn away from me because of the doorway, but three, two, one. All right. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that this morning. I hope you got to kick your butt in a encouraging way. We'll see you next Thursday at 9:30 in the morning. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday, and we will see you next time. Thank you, everyone.